Episode 101. 101. Episode 101. The Destined Trader. Saying that 101 just gives me an idea of what the subject matter would be today. But, okay. First off, I'm not sure if anybody has enjoyed the live that I did when I was talking about the different things I see when I'm looking at I was looking at the stock ARM Holdings Company on the New York Stock Exchange, and I made a mistake in that video. I said the NASDAQ when I started the video, but yeah, I think it trades on the New York Stock Exchange, but irrelevant. It's a tradable item, and I was just looking at it on the daily, and I was just going over the things that I see, how I kind of look at things, kind of telling a story of what happened. I had a little personal experience with it when it first came out. I talked about that story, and I really enjoyed that live, and it's kind of interesting to see that it has gotten a few views, which shocks me personally because, well, nothing really shocks me, but, when you're used to having 1 to 2 views at most on anything that you put out, it's interesting to see that it's only been a day, and I believe it got 7 or 8 views, which is like, okay, all right, somebody's interested in it, and I was just kind of going over a story, of how I kind of tend to look at things, and I really enjoyed it. I'm interested in your feedback. If you watched that video, it's called, you can just search inside my channel, you can just type ARM, and it should come up, and it's my 3rd live stream, and I'm just talking about what I see looking at the stock ARM. If you like that, comment, send me some love. I love conversations. That's why I'm in this, to talk. I love to talk, if you couldn't tell, because I consistently talk about myself all the time in the car with these dusty floor mats that desperately need cleaned. My goodness, I need to clean these things. But, I don't know, perhaps that's why I'm in such a chipper mood today. Well, 1, the weather's finally breaking where I'm at. It's getting nice and warm. I prefer to warm weather myself. And 2, I really enjoyed that video I made. So I'll get that out of the way. Comment, if you watched it, tell me what you thought about it. Hey man, your video was horrible. Or, hey, I liked your video, but, I didn't really like you were talking about this, didn't make no sense, or, or that I don't think that's right, just something, Tell me I'm ugly, I don't care, And I most desperately have to work on saying, so much. Ugh. Anywho, how? Okay. Episode 101. Quick subject for today. 101. That I'll have to look up that term on why that came to be when, it's like Algebra 101, or, people tend to, that's kind of a saying, that's kind of a saying out here in the States where people say, at 101, that's like the basics, I think that's what it is, but I don't know why 101 got associated with, basics, like English literature class 101, like, what? It's kind of strange. I don't know where that came from. I'd have to look into that. But thinking about basics, you know, one thing that's important in anything that you're looking to do is to first be introduced into the basics. And even some of the most basic things that you might take for granted that you already know because you've been, dealing with this broker or this exchange, or you've been doing all these things and you already know how this is done. But a lot of people, they just don't know. I have to remember that sometimes when I'm talking about stuff, that it would be best for me to keep it in my mind that, a lot of people haven't learned a lot of the terminology associated with this industry, and how in order to do this, in order to do that, and it's easy for me just to dismiss that, but I have to remember that, everybody starts somewhere, okay? So I promise you, my friends, I will work on keeping things more of like how to, very basic principles. I think my arm video was very well done. I tried to keep that in my head as I was making that video, but I was just talking about a story and how I see things and how I look at charts, and I tried to keep my terminology down a little bit, but all those things that come with time and research and putting in effort to learn things on your own, okay? So, and it's just like I was having the conversation with someone yesterday who, was asking me, well, what if I don't want to buy something at this price? What if I just want to buy it at this price? And, initially to me, I'm like, what? But then I have to realize that, okay, wait, this person is starting out and they haven't learned a lot of the terminologies and a lot of the tools that are accessible to people. So I started to explain to him the difference between the limit order and the market order. And just something as simple as that is what got me thinking today that, I should work on keeping that in my mind and integrate that into my conversations on starting out in the industry and doing things for yourself. You might not know certain things. I didn't know certain things. I still don't know certain things, but I know a lot more now than what I did 4 years ago, coming from complete ignorance. So it's interesting. I really enjoyed attempting to explain the difference between a market and a limit order, because this person was explaining that every time they go to buy a stock, that their company just gives it to them at whatever price it is at that moment. And then I said, well, you can just pick whatever price you want to buy it at, and whenever it gets to that price, the robot will automatically, if you have money in your account, will automatically fill that order for you. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, a lot of people don't even know that that's out there. I mean, that's got to be like the best thing ever, and it is. I don't know what the price of Walmart stock is today. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but let's just say it's $100, okay? Well, I don't want to buy it at $100 today. If it gets to $90, I want to buy some. So then I go in my company that I use, and I say, okay, Mr. Robot, when the price of Walmart gets to $90, I want you to take 900 of my dollars out of my account, which is right here, attached to this, and buy 10 of those shares. That's kind of how limit order works. And market order is just, real simply, market order is just like, I want it and I want it now. So just think of it like that, because the more that I personally think of it like that, the more I realize, wait a second, do I really want it now? It's helped me personally think about purchasing something when I word it to myself like that. So my definition of a market order is I want it and I want it right now. So anytime that you're placing a market order, you can just repeat that to yourself. I want it and I want it right now. And it'll make you question in your mind, wait a second, do I really want it right now? Right now, this second? Or do I maybe just want to put an order in right here, and if it fills my order, great. If not, so be it. It didn't want to fill my order. And it's up to you. You do whatever you want. But that's just kind of the difference between a market and a limit order. Limit orders are wonderful for when you are away from the chart, so to speak, because you have a game plan that say the price is going to go down to $90, but you can't sit there and watch it 24/7 if it does get down there. So if you're pretty sure in your mind that it has a good chance of going there and you want to purchase some at that price, just put your order in. You can be sleeping and the robot will take care of it for you. That's like one of the benefits to this industry being more accessible to private people as it used to be in the past. In the past, everything was done over the phone. You had to call your company and tell them, hey, get me this, it was just a nightmare back in the day. It was. Of course, it's a totally different world now. We have a lot of our own trials and tribulations. But it's interesting. So I will work on keeping that in mind, terminology and things. And I will work on this channel getting more basic information starting out there. But please give me feedback on that arm. It is worth 30 minutes of your time. I'm telling you. Watch my 30-minute live. If you hate me, don't watch me again. If you like that live stream that I did, and send me a comment. Let me know. And I will talk to everybody later.